Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. It is week 34. Yes, 4 weeks of the Premier League season left. It's going to be very, very intriguing from here on now until the end of the season. And joining me is the absolute legend himself, Mr. John Sinclair. How are you, mate?
Good evening to you, Douglas, and thank you so much for having us on, and evening to the chat as well. This show is going to be streamed as well from my end as well. So yeah, so please, if you're irregular to be sure and that with previews, etc., then I'm on live as well. So join in and boost the channel for Douglas as well to get some more subscribes.
Absolutely. I mean, I would imagine that you were a very, very happy man this season. What were your expectations at the start of the season?
To be honest with you, I mean, like top 8 and a cup run as well, and that's exactly what we have got. And you know what it is, Doug, right? When we got to the final of the Carling Cup, I thought to myself, finally, Newcastle United are in the cup final, yeah? And on that day, we just didn't show up at all whatsoever. We were very, very poor that day. I can't lie, we were poor, just didn't show up at all. And I just rose to the occasion as well on the day. Like I can't lie. But in the league, it's a different kettle of fish, yeah? 18 months ago, right, we were bottom of the table. Fast forward 18 months. Let's be real. We're third in the league because it's certain to be third.
Yeah.
We lost 4 games this season, right? And all the Premier League are saying, I'm upsetting the big 6 and this and that and t'other. They don't want us in the top 4. They didn't want to take over, you know? And all these negative comments come out and say, look, we don't trying to make reports derailed our progress as well. And where we are now, I've said before, we are going to rattle the big 6. Yeah, we're going to rattle them. Chelsea, where are they? Liverpool, your team.
Yeah,
I think you still do it, man. Yeah, Tottenham, we rattle them as well. Man United, who took 4 points away. Yeah, let's be real, right? This has got to be the best season we've had in 20 years. And what Eddie Howe's done coming in, my God, it's just absolutely incredible. It really is. It's absolutely amazing. And you know what it is, right? I mean, I'm just so made up. Last week, we beat Spurs. That was a statement win. That's a statement win, Doug. Because I tell you what, 5 goals in 21 minutes. Yeah. I tell you what, I hope the nation now take Newcastle United seriously and say, we are going to do bits. We're going to do bits. And look, it's been a fantastic season. Yes, I think the players have stepped up. There's some surprises in there, like Joe Linton, completely different player. Jacob Murphy, completely different player. Yeah. I look at the back 4. We are defending properly at times. Yeah. Callum Wilson, right? Scored twice last night. That guy's brilliant. I mean, look, I thought it was finished a couple of months ago. 1 goal, 1 assist in 13 games. That's shocking for Callum Wilson, yeah. I thought he was done. But he's come out and he's proved us wrong and he's done the business. Isak, I tell you what, this guy, give him a couple of years, he'll be world class. He's not there yet, but he will get there.
That's just been amazing. And I did actually read that 3 more wins will guarantee you top 4.
Yes, 3 more wins. 100%.
3 more wins. I mean, you're in the driving seat for, you know, the Champions League. Now, what will it mean to not just you as a supporter, but the club Newcastle as a whole being back in the Champions League? First time since, 2002, 2003. It's been a long time.
Do you know what it is, Douglas, right? It's been a hell of a long time. For a club, for our size, we should be in Champions League in an early FA season, right? Without being bigger than anything like that. But Mike Ashley held us back. He held us back for 14 years. He even tried to pull us out of the Europa League, right? Which FIFA said, no, you can't do that, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true, shame on him, right? All we wanted is our club back, yeah? We got our club back, yeah? I mean, Doug, we haven't won the league since 1927. Our last domestic cup is back in 1955. We won the first cup, last major trophy in 69, yeah? It's been 54 long years since we won a trophy, yeah? Forget the championship. 54 years. That's a long damn time for that trophy for Newcastle United. These new owners give us hope, right? They give us hope, right? They're going to do things to us, right? We're going to compete. We are a project club, yeah? We're a project, yeah? We're going to get better and better, yeah? This is supposed to be a 5-year project, yeah? Guess what? We've done it in, 18 months? Get Champions League. By the time a new ones walk through the door for us to get into Champions League, if we get Champions League, by the way, and getting those 3 wins, Doug, do you know what I mean? But I tell you something now, right? Winning a trophy is not very far away. We will get there. We will improve on players this week. If we get Champions League, the sky's the limit for us, yeah? We could probably get another 4 or 5 more players in the summer. We've got to spend big as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you look at the fan base, you look at the setup, look at the city, look at the crowds, Doug. We get the atmosphere. It's absolutely amazing. The atmosphere, war flags, people's coming in, yeah? We talked about club in the country. Let's be real, right? And I'll tell you what, it's a boom club. When you get linked to Newcastle, if you come to Newcastle United, right, people like Sven Botman ain't used to this kind of atmosphere. He is now, yeah? You got him. You got Isak. He's loved. When he played for Sociedad, the atmosphere is quiet. Atmosphere's good, but it's quiet. When he comes to Newcastle, he does. These players don't know what hit them when they come to Newcastle. You do well, we're going to love you. If you don't deliver, I'm afraid you're going to get kind of called out a bit, yeah? Because that's me. I'm on it. I'm saying how it is. But I tell you something, guys, in the chat, and you as well, Doug, we're going to get better and better and better. There's a lot of big things going to happen in Newcastle United. You're going to have an extended stadium as well, hopefully, to 65k. But
it's been absolutely amazing. It has been absolutely amazing to see the rise of Newcastle, how well Eddie Howe has done as well. We will speak more, obviously, about Newcastle throughout the show as well. Let's say hello to a few people, because I did see a few of you in here. Statman Stubbs was in earlier. Have a great show, guys. Big up to the legend that is John Sinclair. Absolutely.
Thank you,
hello, Sportcat.
You, mate.
Hello, Douglas. Chelsea's can't be arsed with them anymore. Yeah, we will speak about Chelsea. Good evening, Shane. Hope you're well. El Stapleton, I've just dropped by to hit the like. Look after Ward Drawn and have a great show. Thank you very much, El Stapleton. John Conway's in the building. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. John. Sportcast asking, are you disappointed you didn't score more than 6 versus Spurs?
We got 2 Sportcats, so 1. Listen, at the end of the day, it should have been double figures. Yeah, I mean, Long's had a chance as well. Willock had a chance as well. We had so many chances as well in that game. It should have been 10. But I tell you something now, right? We deserved that win from minute 1 to minute 90. Spurs didn't know what hit them as well. I expected it was going to be a tight game. But 3 up in 8 minutes, when Murphy scored that wonder goal, oh my God, that goal was nicked by Murphy, by the way. But Joel Linton, I tell you what, when he first came to the club, he was absolutely awful. Awful. I thought, 40 million flop. And I tell you what, questions need to be asked. This guy, he's starting to play like a £40 million player at least. And whoever's the Brazilian national team manager is, whoever walks through the door, he's got to be considered now. He's got to be picked because he is playing so well. And he's only 26. Great guy.
I know, absolutely. Tom's in the building. Hello, mate. Hope you're good. Also, Samuel Pugh TV. Hello, mate. Hope you're well.
Yes, Sam.
I did notice you were in Edinburgh. I think it was about 3 weeks ago. Thanks for letting me know. But no, big up to yourself as well. Now I was asking who's winning the snooker. I've got to be honest, the way I look at it at the moment, I think that C. Jahawai, whatever his name is. I think it's going to be him now. I think he's been excellent. I really, really do. For me, though, I will go with... I think either one of Mark Selby or Mark Allen will win it as well. Big up Mr. Glasgow Red TV John. I will to Newcastle a couple of days. The Isaac against Aston last night. Yes, we will speak about everything to do with Premier League as well. And we will start with the first game, and it is a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow afternoon. Crystal Palace against West Ham. Crystal Palace currently in 12th on 37 points. West Ham 34, but I reckon one more win for West Ham will probably see them safe. Palace, John, I know they lost to Wolves, but before then, Roy Hodgson came in and done a very good job.
He has indeed. I mean, look, when he first came back when he came back again, I thought, wow, is Roy doing the right thing? We know Roy Hodgson's a good manager. He really is, even at 74, coming on 75. He comes in, right, and he's just steadied the ship, basically, because he used to be there 4 years of Palace. He knows the players there. I mean, I feel sorry for Vieira because he's tried his best, but his best wasn't good enough yet. They're not being scoring goals. That's the thing. So you can see the transformation Roy's done at the club and scoring goals. Yeah, losing to now it's a setback. But if you're a Palace fan, you're not going to qualify for Europe. You're not going to get relegated. You're a perfect mid-table club. It's a terrific club to play for as well. The atmosphere at Selhurst Park is fantastic. But Roy's done a fantastic job coming in, setting the ship, and it's worked. So I think I've got a funny feeling that Roy's going to stay next season as well. I think he'll stay at Palace next season for one more year.
Interesting. I mean, West Ham, I know they're on 34 points, but I think they've got enough. I saw a lot from them against Liverpool the other night, and I thought with Paqueta, Rice, Antonio, Bowen, they've got some really good attacking talents. Even Guerd at centre-back. I actually think West Ham will stay in this division. I don't think they're going to get dragged into a relegation zone or anything like that. But do you think with having the Conference League on their minds, do you think that might distract them from their Premier League form?
It doesn't seem that at all, Douglas, at the end of the day, because West Ham are winning games in the Europa League as well. And also, they're doing their best to stay in the Premier League. I think they stay in the Premier League, no doubt about it.
Me too.
I mean, probably one more win. I mean, West Ham was never going to get relegated. They've got quality. They've got good players there. Declan Rice, Antonio as well. You got Benrahma as well. Bowen. They got Igard as well. I think that guy is brilliant. He really is a fantastic defender. However, we went to London Stadium, absolutely slapped them 5-1. Let's be real. However, I think West Ham will be safe. And I really do hope that David Moyes gets another season because it gets him in the semi-finals of the Europa League, right? He's done a fantastic job at London Stadium. I know fans want him gone, right? But at the end of the day, he needs another season. He's got credits in the bank, Moisey, because it hadn't been for Moisey, I think West Ham be in the Championship, whoever the manager is. Let's be real, right? But Declan Rice is going to leave at the end of the season. Let's be real, right? And it is what it is. But that's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a tight game. See what happens?
I have actually gone 2-1 West Ham. I have a feeling West Ham will win, and I think one more win, as I said, will keep them safe. I think Palace are safe. I think they'll be determined to probably, be one of those teams that finishes above Chelsea. I mean, as Samuel Pearce says, who is not finishing below Chelsea at this moment in time. But I've gone for a 2-1 to West Ham. How do you see that one going?
I'll just go say for a draw. I say it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be goals in it. I mean, Palace are good at home. West Ham will score goals as well, but that was a fantastic win against Bournemouth last week, by the way, and they want to carry it through. Yes, they lost to Liverpool. I thought they were unlucky, and Paqueta scored a cracking goal as well. But let's be real, I think it's going to be an exciting 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Let's see what some of you are saying for this one. Sparkus says Palace will finish above Chelsea. Can West Ham win the Conference League? This is the thing. They have Alkmaar in the next round. The only thing is the away leg is in Holland. Now, I think if it was away first, then I think they might have a chance at home. But I think it's just about all about that home game. If they can win that, keep it tight away from home, then who knows? I think the other game, Fiorentina Basel, that is the one. I think whoever wins that, I think goes on to win the Conference League. If I'm being honest, and Basel have been a nemesis for English teams. Manchester United, Liverpool, even Chelsea at some point as well. So I do think that it is going to be a very, very hard game for them. But who's not to say? Who's not to say? And especially in this kind of Premier League season where it's been absolutely bonkers from start to finish, I would not be surprised if West Ham do go on and win the Conference League. John Conway has gone for a 2-1 win to West Ham. There's Samuel Poo saying, question is who won't finish below Chelsea? Hello, Arpon, hope you're good. Panoff's in the building. Hello, Panoff, hope you're well. 2-1 West Ham. Relegation zone is not as close as it was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, the sort of starting a bit of a gap now, especially between Southampton and 17th. We will get to those teams very, very shortly. Samuel Poo says West Ham are safe, I think, and I also think they're going to win the Conference League. Race Gaming Channel, good evening, mate. Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 0. What Palace win? 1-1 draw, says Samuel. Palace 1, West Ham 0, says Sportcat. Errol, I believe Dominic has taken a bit of a, what do we call it, a sabbatical. I think he's kind of just focusing on himself. He's been a bit not being himself. So I think he's focusing on getting a little bit better. And I think he will be back, Errol. I do think he will be back. But I would just say give him enough time to get himself together. And I think he'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, shout out to Dominic Rich as well. Lovely guy. And hopefully he is doing very, very well. Right, the next one. There are only 3 Saturday games this week. Brentford against Nottingham Forest. Now, both of these sides had magnificent wins the other night. Brentford winning 2-0 at Chelsea, but Nottingham Forest getting out the bottom 3 by beating Brighton 3-1. I mean, Forest are out of the relegation zone at the moment, John, but do you see Forest staying up?
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, I've got a sneaky feeling. I think it could, and I'll tell you for why. Because I think the home games might just keep them up. Because not many teams beat Forest at home. And I tell you what, they want to do this for Steve Cooper. They got some good players there. I mean, Brennan Johnson's there. Neco Williams is going to be out for the season. And also, the back four look good as well. But they were looking against Liverpool as well, where they lost by 3 goals to 2, beat Brighton, which is a good comeback. But this game is going to be very, very tough. Brentford are a good home side, yeah? They've not been winning games until they beat Chelsea, who still like some games out to win, and then goes down and beat Chelsea. So the Chelsea be up as well. So at the end of the day, Doug, it's like, the best Forest can hope for is a draw. But for me, I'm going to say Brentford. Oh, it's a hard one for me. I'm going to say just Brentford for me because at home. And I'm going to say Brentford 2, Forest 1 in this game. Forest will score, but Brentford will win the day.
Yeah, I've gone 2-0 Brentford. I think Brentford will win that game. And it's not just so about obviously Nottingham Forest away form. It's just more about the fact that I think Brentford at home, I think, are really, really good. I think the only teams that have beaten Brentford away from home is obviously yourselves and Arsenal. Those are the only 2 teams I think that have beaten Brentford away from home. So I do expect a very, very hard game, and I do think that that Brentford will win this game. Right, let me see what some of you are saying. Reese Gaming Channel says Brentford 2, Forest 1. So agreeing with John. Brentford 2. Forest, no, I think that was meant to be Sportcat. Yes, for Forest. Brentford 2, Forest 1, says Shane. Gary Douglas is in the building. Hello, mate. We did Nottingham Forest a massive favour. Yes, you certainly did. You certainly did. You certainly did indeed. Brentford 2, Forest 1, says Samuel. And Brentford 3-0, says John Conway.
Can I just give you a bit of breaking news on Newcastle as well? Apparently, they got a new Middle Eastern sponsorship. But what's the name is, no one don't know. But that's the breaking news that Fund 88 is going to go at the end of the season. And Newcastle will be getting a new sponsorship on front of their shirts, and it's a Middle Eastern sponsorship. We don't know what it is.
Interesting. Well, if I get any more on that, I will let you know. I've got a sneaky feeling before one Brentford won. Draw wouldn't need to be too bad. Will not be too bad. And hello, Anthony Herbert. Hope you are very well, Anthony. Right. The other Saturday game, I should say, is Brighton and Hove Albion against Wolves. Yes, Brighton sitting in 8th place at the moment. Very, very comfortable. Very good season that Brighton have had. They're sitting in 8th on 49 points. Wolves 13th on 37 points. You'd have to say, John, Wolves definitely safe.
100%. Lopetegui come in. He's done a fantastic job keeping them up. You know what I mean? I think Wolves going to have a big, big season next season. I really do. I think they could surprise a few people next season. I really do. Brighton, fantastic season. Yes, they lost to Forest the other night, but that's down to playing too much medicine in the cup. However, I think go out and enjoy yourselves, Wolves. You're safe. But Brighton's going to beat you by 1 goal. That's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Brighton. And Wolves will be safe anyway. I think Wolves will be safe anyway. I mean, look, they don't get relegated. Absolutely nowhere. They've got some good players there. Ruben Neves is there as well. They've got some good players, man. And Wolves is never going to get relegated. Not a chance.
No, definitely not. I've gone for a draw on this one. I've got a draw. I've actually got a sneaky feeling Wolves will get something. But kudos to Brighton. I think they've had a fabulous season. I think we're kind of seeing them sort of slowly. I don't know if they quite believe in themselves to sort of get those European places. Look, they've had a fabulous season. Don't get me wrong. Some of the signings that they've made this summer was fantastic as well. But I just think we're kind of sort of seeing them sort of be sort of where they are. I still think they'll finish top half. I still think they'll finish top half because there's they're 10 points ahead of Chelsea. So, you know, I would expect, and especially with the way Chelsea are playing at this moment in time, I would certainly expect Brighton to finish above Chelsea. Oh, yeah, they've been very, very poor. Palace 1, West Ham 1, says Anthony. Brentford 2, Forest 1. Brighton 2, Wolves 1. Brighton 3, Wolves 1, says John Conway. Comments will come up. They will come up. Brighton 2, there we go. Brighton 2, Wolves 1, says Shane O'Donnell. Brighton 3, Wolves 2, says Reese Gaming Channel. Boys, I'm going to have to leave early. I've got my ACCA on, and first game starts now, lol. Have a great show, like I know you will. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Sportcast says, sorry, Douglas and John got to go. We'll be back in a bit. Have to go to Price for GCSEs starting 2 weeks. Well, yes, get revising.
And get revising and subscribe to my channel, please, mate. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Sounds the top guy.
Yes, absolutely indeed. Right, the first one of the Sunday games. Yeah, there are a lot of Sunday games. 5 Sunday games this week. And this is a big game. 14th place Bournemouth. Massive victory at Southampton. Play Leeds United, who got a good draw against Leicester City. However, Leeds United's away form is very, very poor at this moment in time. Bournemouth at home are pretty good. I mean, I look at Bournemouth, John, and I think Gary O'Neill's done a magnificent job to keep Bournemouth in the Premier League. They're on 36 points. I think that is enough. I've said this season that I think it's between 36 and 37 points to keep you in the Premier League, and I think Bournemouth have done that. Leeds, I worry for Leeds because of the fact that, yes, they got a point against Leicester City, but in the end, they were very, very fortunate, I think, to not lose that game. And then Leeds concede first. They usually go on and concede 2 and then 3. Are you worried for Leeds?
I'm going to be honest with you, Doug. I am. Let's be real. Because they're conceding goals for fun. And I'll tell you something as well. I mean, some of those players have signed under Jesse Marsh, right? They've done 170 million quid, right? When in January, they spent some more money, right? And then another 70 million quid. And they sacked him. The club is in a mess in a minute, like, do you know what I mean? I mean, Javi Garcia, I mean, you know, he's not doing that much to keep them up, is he? Let's be real. They're not winning games. And I'm worried for Leeds big time because this is a massive game for Leeds. I don't want to get relegated, I want to stay up because they are terrifically neither Leeds United in the Premier League. Their fan base is absolutely awesome, right? And the passion there is brilliant. But Bournemouth, let's be real, right? They had a good win the other night against Southampton, yesterday as I speak. They seem to do better away from home than they do at home. That is the thing. But Gavin and Neil, like you said, has done a magnificent job. They've got some good players there, right? That Philip Billing, that guy has been fantastic this season. He really has. Dominic Solanke, he's done fantastic too. And Leeds, Brentford, look, at the end of the day, he needs to be starting scoring goals as well. Sinisteria, the guy I rate, he's going to be out for the season as well. So he won't be playing the game.
That's a massive blow.
Massive blow.
I watched the game. I watched the game against Leicester, and every time he got the ball, he could make something happen. Sinisterra. So that is a big, big blow. I've got to be honest, because of that, the vitality, I've got to go for a home win. And even then, I'd say Bournemouth are safe. Anyway, 36 points. They'd actually go level on points with Chelsea, believe it or not, with Bournemouth. I've gone 3-1 Bournemouth. I just think if Bournemouth score the first goal, I just think it will be 2 and then probably 3 and then probably Leeds get a consolation later on. How do you see this one going?
I'm going to go Bournemouth to win, and I'm going to say an easy 2-0 win for Bournemouth. I think that they're defensively sound. I think they need to tighten up at the back, though. That is the thing, especially at home, Doug. And I'm going to say 2-0. I tell you what, I changed my mind. I'm going to say 2-1 to Bournemouth. 2-1.
2-1. There we go. Right. Let me just actually sub to you, John, at the start of the show.
Thank
just
you,
forgot to tell you.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
There
you go, indeed. 2-1 says John Conley. Anthony Herbert says 2-0 Bournemouth, as does Reese Gaming Channel. Spencer's in the building. Hello, mate. Hello, all. 2-1 Cherries. Shane's gone 2-1 Leeds. Ooh, that would be. That was a massive win for. A massive win for Leeds as well. But a big game for Manchester City because they did beat Arsenal in that big title clash 4-1. Yeah, and I said a couple of weeks ago, John, when City get playing, they're very, very ominous and they're looking really lethal at the moment.
They are. Look, they don't make a good start at the beginning of the season, but City fans not bothered about that because they know Pep will find a way and he always finds a way. But Man City's turn on the turbos now, are they? Turn on the turbos. Yeah. And I tell you what, though, it's a trick against Fulham. Fulham's playing really well. And, they can be hard to beat. Beating Fulham can cost a lot for everyone because we beat them. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a 3-1 City win for me. They're going to be too good. Because they want to win the title, they need to beat Fulham at Cream Cottage, and I truly believe they will. I think it's going to be pressure on Man City this time. I think they'll do it, and they win the title as well, mate.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think City go on and win the league here. I really do. I've gone 2-0 Man City. I think it will be a comfortable afternoon. I think Fulham will give them a good game, but I just think City's class will show in the end. And I'm not exactly sure how many more games Mitrovic has got. I think it's another 2 or 3.
I think it's about 3. I think.
So once he comes back, I think they'll be absolutely fine. They absolutely trashed Arsenal. They were fantastic against Arsenal. Fulham no Man City 4 says Reese Gaming Channel. Mr. Beef Alive, hello mate. Palace 1, West Ham 1. Could have been 6 or 7-1. Yeah, it could have been.
A lot worse.
Could have well been.
A lot worse.
3-1 Manchester City says John, as the Spencer. 3-0 City. Bees 2, Forest 0 says Mr. Beef Alive, and Brighton 2, Wolves 1. Yes. Now, a club who have done well. Aston Villa were 16th when Unai Emery took over. They are now 6th, a point under. Actually, no, level on points with Tottenham. 6 off Manchester United. Unai Emery has done a magnificent job, John.
Absolutely. He comes in. This is the guy that turned down Newcastle before Eddie Howe got the job, by the way. So he goes in there, right? Unfinished business for Unai Emery, right? Arsenal fans, must be absolutely seething because they still want this guy to be managing, yeah? But what he did, right, he's come in there and he turned average players into better players. Look at Tyrone Mings, yeah? I don't rate that guy at all whatsoever, but he's been playing well. And he's turned Ollie Watkins as well. Ollie Watkins has been fantastic. Douglas Luiz as well. Solid player in the midfield. John McMinn, class. I mean, you got James Ramsey as well, stepping up as well. But I tell you something, right? I mean, he's got that defensively sound as well. I mean, that Moreno on left back, that guy is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
He has turned them into an absolute unit. Yeah. A close-knitted team. And if Man United think they're going to win that game, they got another thing coming, man. Because Villa are playing really well. I could see this game end up in a draw. 2-2 for me.
2-2. I watched Manchester United last night, and they were good first half. But second half, Spurs just outplayed them, like completely outplayed them. And how Bruno Fernandes missed. I mean, he's basically one-on-one with Forster. He decides to go for power. It hits the underside of the crossbar and bounces out. And, you know, at this moment in time, Manchester United I think they're sort of getting through games. They're not really going through like games really comfortably at the moment. Look, Tottenham is a very, very, tricky place to go to. And even though how bad Tottenham are, Tottenham against Manchester United is still a very, very good clash. I've got to be honest, the way Aston Villa are playing, I'm actually going to go for a Villa win. I'm going 2-1 Villa. And if Villa were to win, it would put them 3 points off top four. Now, I know it's really, really difficult to say because obviously Aston Villa will have played 2 games more than the teams in around them. But slight chance of top four, John?
Well, we got 2 games in hand over Villa anyway. So, I mean, if we win both of those games, there's nothing they can do at all whatsoever. But
yeah,
this game is going to be massive. This is going to be a massive game. If United think they get top 4, they've got another thing coming. Yeah, Villa are still in the top 4 race. Liverpool are in the top 4 race as well. But we got to win 3 more games. But the thing is, Doug, one thing I will say, right? Man, you need to turn the turbos on as well to go and win that game. But they got players out. Villa, they will come to Old Trafford no fear whatsoever. They win that game, then we've got to beat Southampton. I'm sure we can talk about that game in a minute, but that's pressure. There's pressure. I think the top 4 is not done yet. We need to win 3 games.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's see what some of you are saying for this one, because I'm going 2-1 Villa. I just have a feeling that Villa are going to win that. Without making sure Fulham a different team. I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, I know they've dropped to 10th. I know they've dropped to 10th recently, but even still, they are still 6 points above Chelsea. And at this moment in time, can you see Chelsea getting above this Fulham team? I can't.
No.
Not with the way Chelsea are playing.
No. Poor side Chelsea. I mean, Pochettino's going in, but the thing is that he's not. For me, if he goes in right now, they'll probably be bad news for us. We got in the last game of the season, and we might have to beat them with Pochettino in charge to get top 4. But I just got a feeling he's going to wait till the new season. If I was Poch, I wouldn't go now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Lampard will get the rest of the season, but he's done a really poor job, I have to say. 4 of 3 leagues won. John Conway is agreeing with me. He's going for a 2-1 to Aston Villa. Hello, Henry. Hope you were good. Big up chat, he says as well. Man United 2, Villa 2, says Shane. Man United 2, Villa 2, says Reese Gaming Channel. United 1, Villa 1, says Mr. B for Life. United capitulated. Yes, they certainly did. And we know which game is next. It is obviously the Toon Army, and they come up against Southampton now. Newcastle are 3rd in the Premier League with 62 points.
Yeah.
Another win would get them to 65. I think they're almost there towards top 4. Southampton, though, 24 points, 5 games to go. It is looking like relegation is probably going to be confirmed very, very shortly. I mean, John, obviously, I will come to Newcastle next, but Southampton, it's been a case of every season, they always seem to be on the periphery of sort of going into that relegation. What has gone wrong for Southampton this season?
Get rid of Hutchinson, mate. He wanted a centre forward, didn't get it, right? And the new order came in, spent a little money, right? And didn't really back Ralph. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think they made a mistake sacking him. They really have. If they had just listened to him, I think he would have still been there, and Southampton would have been safe. They would have been mid-table under Ralph because he's still a talented manager. He really is. But once he went, getting Nathan Jones, was a mistake, right? A massive mistake. Lasted 2 months, and he got sacked for that as well. So the club is in an absolute mess. I mean, Ruben Sellers is trying to do his best. The problem with Southampton, they're just not scoring enough goals. Okay, they scored 3 against Arsenal, but this is not winning enough games. And that's why they're down there where they are. We beat them 4-1 in November, and it's going to be another 4-0 after me. It's going to be another 4-0 win. If not, it's going to be a lot worse because Newcastle will be too strong in every single department. And Arsenal could see the 3. Newcastle will not let 3 goals in against these lot. If we want Champions League, we have got to beat these. And where we're at in a minute, it's going to be another win. And then we march on to the top 4. So 3 more wins. This is the first. 10 goals scored in the last 2 games. If you play like against Tottenham, Southampton will win for a long, long year. But then again, they may come to Newcastle and play 5 in the back, 5-4-1, and make it tough for themselves and play out the counter attack because they know damn fine well we're going to attack them. We're going to have more of the ball. And starting lineup for me, I mean, I think Isak can come back in. Isak can come back in this game. And if he starts, then I think he's going to score a hat-trick. This guy's going to score a hat-trick because he's that good.
Yeah. No, I've got to say, I mean, you say 4-0. I've actually got you down for a 5-1. I honestly see.
You're correct.
I honestly see you winning this game. I don't see any problem at all in this game. And I like Southampton as a club. I think they're a really, really fantastic club. But I think they made a big mistake in the summer. They went for more youth rather than experienced players. Now I think that's a good thing to begin with. But I think it's too much youth. I think is a little bit bad. And yes, Nathan Jones was an absolute disaster. I think Ruben Sellers is actually a good manager. It's the only thing I can say about that though is will he stay on beyond the end of the season? I'm not too sure. But looking at the table, I mean they have got 24 points. They are 6 points above the relegation zone. Could still happen that they make a slight chance of recovery, but they're running out of games. And I just think that I think you'll be absolutely comfortable. So yeah, I've gone 5-1 to Newcastle. John Conway's agreeing with you 4-0. 4-0. Shane's gone 5-0. Dangerous says not confident about the Villa game. I don't think you would be. Newcastle 4, Southampton 0. Newcastle 5, Southampton 0. Luca is in the building. Hello, Luca. Hope you're good. Newcastle 4-0. Dangerous says, I think we'll draw 2-2. My prediction first is City, Newcastle, Villa in a fight for 4th. Oh, no Arsenal. Interesting. I think
no Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah, I think
Arsenal are definitely qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah, they are. They are in the Champions League. They are definitely in the Champions League. Yeah, Arsenal have actually qualified for the Champions League. I do have to say. Hey, Luca. I think Newcastle will win all the remaining games, lad. Look, if you do, then it's absolutely fantastic. It really, really is. I think you've got, obviously, Southampton this week. Arsenal at home next Sunday. That's a big game. That is a big, big game. And then I think it's away to Leeds on the Saturday lunch. Yeah.
Lunchtime. Now you've got Leicester on a Monday night. Brighton 3 days after at home. And then you've got Chelsea after that, the last game of the season.
I think I would think you would win most of those. Anyway, good evening, Redbird. Hope you're well. What is Southampton's fixtures like? I will actually tell you. I will actually tell you right now. So away at
Doesn't look good.
Newcastle, away at Nottingham Forest, that's the big one. They need to win that game. Home to Fulham, and then they're away to Brighton and home to Liverpool. It's going to be tricky. Going to be tricky. I do have to say that, but I don't see it, to be honest. Representative Henry and fight for the fourth Manchester United, Liverpool, and Brighton. Hi, Redbird says 6-0 to Newcastle. Arsenal have 5 games left and they're 15 points ahead of fourth. Not possible. They won't lose 5 in a row. No, definitely not. Newcastle 5, Southampton 1. Nothing from Trippier fantasy Premier League wise. He might still make it. He might still make it anyway. But the next game, and it's one of the most played fixtures in Premier League history. Liverpool against Tottenham. Now, when we think that Liverpool do things easy, 3-2 against Nottingham Forest, and then 2-1 against West Ham. Look, I think the West Ham victory was very, very good. I think we deserved. I think we played very, very well. Tottenham, they need to massively improve from that 6-1 defeat to Newcastle. I know they got a 2-2 against Manchester United, but the way things have gone for Tottenham is Stellini being sacked, John. Did you see that one coming?
If I'm honest with you, I just didn't think he's going to last the season. Not after that last week's defeat, you know what I mean? But when Conte left, I mean, he should have gone with him as well, to be fair. But listen, at the end of the day, the players didn't want to play for him at all, didn't they? They didn't want to play for him, Doug. Not at all.
No.
He's only a caretaker, and most players don't play under the caretaker, don't they? Let's be real. But he played a flat back four, a 4-3-3 against us, which is a big mistake. I mean, all the Spurs fans saying play a back four. They haven't got the players to play a back four. They have not got it. They haven't.
No.
And serves them right. But he'd been sacked. Out he go. And that's it, really. But whoever goes to Tottenham's got a difficult job. He's going Nagelsmann. His name's being linked. He needs to think very carefully before taking that job on. He needs to be speaking to Conte, Jose, and asking the one question: what's it like working for Dan Levy? And I tell you what, I don't want his career being ruined by Dan Levy.
Kane, where do you think he goes in the summer?
Man United. I don't think he'll be at Tottenham next season. Whoever comes to Don Malla, he wants to win trophies now. He's 30 now, and he wants to win trophies. He's done his bit at Tottenham. I think he'll end up going to United. I really do. But does Danny Levy want to sell him to Man United? That's another question. Bayern Munich wants him as well. Or if Poch goes to Chelsea, which I think he will, Poch loves Kane. Yeah,
I know. I had a feeling he might say Chelsea. He might do. I'm going to be honest. I think we win this game. I think the way we've been playing recently, we've had 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5. I think we smashed Spurs. I'm going 3-0 Liverpool. I'm actually predicting us to keep a clean sheet.
I tell you what it is, right? I mean, if you watched this game on TV against Spurs, they were shocking. Absolutely shocking. And you know what? You need to win about 3 or 4 goals against these lot, the way you're playing in a minute. I'm going to say Liverpool 3, Tottenham 0 for me.
3-0 as well. I would absolutely love it if that happened. Absolutely love it.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tottenham win, to be fair. But hey,
absolutely. Got to go dinner, is no problem, Henry. 4-0 Newcastle. Hello, Dave. Hope you're good.
Big up, Moto.
Yes, I have been thinking about this. If Southampton are, as we probably expect, to be relegated, they do have Liverpool on the final day of the season. Yeah, that would be a very interesting game. Let me just say that. John Conway sent 4-1 Liverpool. Mr. B5 sent 3-1. Shane O'Donnell's going 3-0. Reese Gaming Channel is also going for 4-1. Spurs are SHITE against Liverpool. Liverpool 3-1 win. Don't let the comeback versus United trick you. Liverpool absolutely rinse them. Hopefully. Liverpool 2-1 says Luca. Kane either goes to Bayern, Manchester United, or PSG in order of likeliness, says Dane. Well, if you thought Liverpool-Tottenham was a massive game, Monday night, I've dubbed this The game, whoever wins stays up. Whoever loses is down. 18th place, Leicester City, 29 points against Everton, 28 points. Oh my goodness me. Predicting this game, I mean, Leicester can't defend to save themselves. Everton can't defend. And I thought Sean Dyche was a very, very good pick to come in at Everton. I mean, how do you see this going? This is like picking books off a shelf, and you literally pick either the one you really, really like the most or the one you really, really dislike the most. How do you see this one going? This is a massive, massive game on Monday.
I tell you what, Doug, what you just said there, absolutely right. And for me, I mean, Everton were poor, absolutely poor. I'm sorry, but Leicester under Dean Smith has picked up, 4 points? So he's done all right. He's done okay. For me, I'm going to say Leicester to win. I think Leicester will win by 3 goals to 1 for me. Everton to score, Leicester to win by 3-1. And let's be real, Leicester knows exactly what they would have got to do. They've got the players to stay up. They've got some good players there. You got Madison, Tielemans when he behaves himself, yeah? Dak has quality, yeah? You got Harvey Barnes as well. James Madison. They'll be too strong for Everton. It's a relegation 6-point out of this if it ever was one. But Leicester will win this game. They're at home. The fans will be up for it. I've been to the Ken Power, and their fans are fantastic. And 3-1 Leicester. Everton are rubbish. They're relegated this season. Their time has come. They are done. Done.
Well, when I look at Everton's fixtures, obviously Leicester away, Brighton away, Man City at home, Wolves away, Bournemouth at home. How many points realistically out of those 5 do you see them getting? I'm going to say 0.
Doug,
I think they're gone.
Doug, I can't lie, mate. You're absolutely right. I mean, Brighton would want to go for Europe. They'll beat Everton, no problems. Everton, Man City, City's fighting for the title, right?
Yeah.
Wolves will do a professional job on Everton. And then Everton against Bournemouth. Bournemouth's going to win that game because Bournemouth are better away from home. And Gary Neal has done a fantastic job as well. Bottom line is, Everton are done. Everton are finished. Let's be honest.
I honestly think, looking at Everton's fixtures, I think they're gone. I can't see them going to Brighton and getting anything. I can't see them beating Man City. I can't see them going to Wolves and getting anything. And the Bournemouth game, I mean, Bournemouth will probably already be safe. They might get something out of that, but even still, I honestly think that result last night, with the manner of the defeat that they had against Newcastle. Look, Newcastle were absolutely fabulous, and I'm not taking anything away from Newcastle, but Everton, like that squad, I'm not being funny. Pickford, Godfrey, Onana, Iwobi, Gray, McNeil, Mopey, Calvert-Lewin. I mean, that squad should be able to get out of a relegation battle. But the problem is, Everton, when I look at their goals, they've scored 25 goals this season, the lowest of any other side in the Premier League. That's where the problem's been, is scoring goals. And I'm going 1-0 Leicester. I can't see Everton getting anything out of Leicester. And sorry to any Evertonian that's watching this, but I think you're gone.
Excuse me. I have to agree with you there, Doug. I mean, I cannot see where Everton's win's going to come from. The defence is poor. I mean, the Nana's a good player, right? We're carved up in the second half, like a knife through butter. Right? I mean, DCL, Calvert-Lewin, right, works hard, but working hard is not going to win you games at all whatsoever. So have Everton's got the minerals to do so against Leicester? I don't think they have. I think they've done. I mean, Sean Dyche, you would have thought they would have got a lot out of this team, right? This is not his team. But if they get relegated, they'll be playing in a brand new, sparkling new stadium in the Championship. And they're all going to love going there, I'm telling you.
No, absolutely
Everton against Fulham Argyle, Everton against Ipswich. Wow. That is some game. That's going to be some game. They're all going to enjoy going to Everton. And I tell you what, if Everton figure to get back up straight away, they got another thing coming. Real talk. They're going to have to
The
spend
Championship.
big.
Championship is one of the hardest leagues to get out of, and obviously you'll have known from first glance how tricky it is. Mr. Beef Life going for 2-1 Leicester. John Conway's going for 2-1 Leicester. Shane O'Donnell agreeing with you 3-1. Race Gaming Channel going 2-1. Yes, it is on Sky Sports. It is on Sky Sports. That game is on Sky Sports on Monday, and I have to say, I'm watching that game. I will be watching that game, and I have to say, that will be one game where you just basically sit back and basically watch two teams really, really struggling. And as I said, whoever wins, I think, stays up. Whoever loses is down. And Mr. B says
Leicester stay up anyway, no matter what. I think they stay up, Leicester, because they got what it takes. Like, they're a terrific club, Leicester. And I've got mates like Chris and Ant, both Leicester City fans as well. And I hope they stay up. Let's be real.
I hope they stay up. I hope they stay up as well. Southampton, Everton, Leeds going down, says Mr. B. And Dane Richards going for a 1-0 win to Leicester. And, right, the next game, wow. Arsenal. Oh. I'm going to be honest. I said it a couple of weeks ago. Liverpool broke them. In that second half showing, we broke Arsenal. But Chelsea, oh my goodness me. Frank Lampard has lost 5 games since he's been back at Stamford Bridge. They look devoid of ideas. They look really, really poor at this moment in time. Arsenal are at home for this one. Now, most people will probably say, look, Chelsea would be up for a London derby. But I've got to say, I'm looking at the relegation table at the moment. They are 10 points above the relegation zone. So it's very unlikely that they will be dragged into it. But if Leicester were to win, they'd be 7 points off Chelsea. That would be absolutely mental at this stage in the season. But, I mean, where is it going on for Chelsea? I mean, all that money spent, 600 million of it. And has anyone really came into that side and really improved them? Because I'm looking at the team at the moment, and I really cannot see anyone who has actually improved that Chelsea side.
Definitely not. I mean, Enzo Fernandez, that guy is a cracking player. We know that.
Yeah.
But you need to improve the team, right? I mean, those players are just taking a wholesale mick. Seriously, man, the wholesale mick. Keep changing formation. I mean, I've heard that he played Gallagher and Sterling up front, Lampard, the other night. And what is that all about? I just do not know. And I'll tell you something else as well, right? I mean, if Posh goes in, let's be real, he's got a big job on his hands. He's trying to shift all these players out of the club on big money as well. That's going to be very difficult. Mason Mount, has done a new deal, yeah? They need to get rid of about 8 to 10 players with huge money. That's going to be tough. But they need to find different clubs if Poch doesn't rate them at all. But if you give Poch the backing, get the players that he needs, I think Chelsea's going to have a good season under Poch next season. Top 4, I'm not too sure because we'll get top 4 next season as well. As things stand, I'm not going to lie. But up front, they just cannot score goals for Toffee. Let's be real. Havertz is in and out. I'm not going to lie. And you got some not creative and as well. João Felix as well. I think they're one of the better players, but he's just not being picked at all whatsoever by Lampard. I think Lampard's he should never have gone back at all whatsoever. But for me, everyone's saying Chelsea's going to draw, but Arsenal's going to win that game. I think this game should be a top 4 game. Fighting for titles, fighting for Champions League. Chelsea's been very disappointed. That team is crap this season. They really have, Yeah. But defensively, they've seen stupid goals like the game Brentford as well. But I'm going to say Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1 in that game. I think Arsenal will be too strong for them. They're going to run rings.
I agree.
3-1 Arsenal.
I mean, I'm looking at Chelsea's next sort of games that they have sort of coming up. I mean, Bournemouth away, I think they get beaten that. Forest at home. After Forest, right? They got Manchester City, Manchester United, then Newcastle. And I asked this with a slight hint of a bit of a question in my mind. Could Frank Lampard lose all the games remaining this season?
It could. Because at the end of the day, right? I mean, like Chelsea's not winning games. He's lost 5 games. He's taken over, scoring 1 and conceded 9. I think it was. But do you know what it is right with him? Right? He should never have gone back. I mean, they should have kept a Potter to the end of the season and see how it goes from there. But you know what it is, though? I mean, I don't think Frank Lampard's good enough at all whatsoever. I think he's done the Premiership football as well. He is not a Premier League manager. He is not. He's been very lucky this season. He really has. And he's been given his opportunities. He's not taken them at all whatsoever. But for me, Potter's got a big job on his hands. They could still get relegated in that Chelsea. That's what they could still do. But very unlikely. Very unlikely. They've been stuck on 39 points for quite a while, right? They're 10 points above the drop zone, right? They're not safe. One more win keeps them through. 4 out of the last 5 games are defeats. That is not good enough for Chelsea. And I'll tell you something now. That club needs a broom through the players at the end of the season. I really do think that Poch's the guy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go on Arsenal, but I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I just think Arsenal will be way too strong for Chelsea. To say the very least, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1 seems to be fine. John Conley's going Arsenal 4, Chelsea 0. To be honest, I would not be surprised if that happened. Chelsea just look devoid of ideas at this moment in time. Gary Douglas says, well, we all know what Paul from the Toon Review, fantastic bloke, is Mr. Paul Ditchburn from the Toon Review, would like nothing better than Everton to go down. Yeah, tell me about Newcastle, Everton, because is there a wee rivalry there? Because I do know that Newcastle fans call Everton Scouse Mackhams and all this.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford used to play for Sunderland. Yeah, so he called Scouse Mackhams because we just hate them so much. Some of the fan base as well, I'm not going to lie, it's just absolutely shocking. I mean, threatening disabled people, letting off fireworks as well. Nah, don't do that. So there are some nice Everton fans around, especially people following me channel, that you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, right, I have Dan on his Everton fan. Sounds a good guy, brilliant guy. That's his football. But at the end of the day, right, we just call him Scouts Mackhams because of pig fad sort of thing. So we just call him that as well. So we want to see him get ready to go. Oh, that's another thing. Sunderland can go to Everton as well. Yeah,
that's true. That is very, very true. We will see. Kevin Wright says, will you do a quick dance? In return, I will give you a super chat. Interesting. We do actually still have 3 games to predict, believe it or not. There are a couple of games this week that actually play twice, and Liverpool is one of them. They play Fulham at Anfield, and I have to say, Fulham have already beaten Everton in Merseyside this season, but you'd have to say Liverpool. I know they make it very, very difficult for themselves, especially against these kind of clubs that are, sitting down there. You'd have to expect Liverpool to win this one, surely.
Yeah, I think you'll probably win that one as well, mate. I mean, Fulham will be tough. Fulham make teams tough to beat. We played Fulham at St. James's, and they made it so difficult for us as well. Even though we beat them 4-1, when Fulham was down to 10 men, it would have been a different game altogether. But at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say, I mean, I still think you beat. I don't think you beat Fulham 4-1, but I say 2-0.
2-0. I've actually gone 2-1. I think Fulham will make it very, very difficult for us. Liverpool 2, Fulham 0, says John Conway, and Liverpool 4, Fulham 1, says Mr. B. And it's another game in hand for Manchester City as they play West Ham. Manchester City against West Ham. This is a kind of game where I think West Ham can just say, this is a free hit. If we get something out of Manchester City, then absolute bonus. It's not about that game. It's about the games that are coming up for them. Easy City win for you?
Yeah, I think Man City will see the deal. They're stepping it up now. I'm going to say Man City 4, West Ham 1. They're 2.
4-1.
4-1.
4-1.
Sorry, West Ham fans.
I'm going 2-0 City. I think it'll be, and again, another comfortable win for them. Liverpool 3, Fulham 1. Liverpool 3, Fulham 0. Man City 5-0 West Ham. Liverpool 2, Fulham 0. City 3, West Ham 1. Man City 3, West Ham 1. And we are at the final game, and it is at the Annex Stadium. And Brighton could do the double over Manchester United for the first time ever this weekend, this midweek, I should say, coming up. Well, we all know the result last time, because obviously Brighton did beat Manchester United 2-1 at Old Trafford earlier this season. I think these are the games that actually started the season, if I seem to remember as well. Now, I'm going to say this now. When I watched Brighton last week at the Nottingham Forest, yes, I can see why they lost, but they are at home. They are at home, and Manchester United's away record is actually derailing them of potentially getting top 4. Their away record is not the best, not the best. And I look at this game, and I'm actually going to go for Brighton to do the double over Manchester United. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton in this one.
Yeah, I'll go with you as well. I'm going to say 2-1 as well to Brighton, because look, at the end of the day, Brighton are a cracking team, especially at home, and they're having a fantastic season. We know that, but I don't think Man U fancy going there. And
no.
Brighton want to go, like I said earlier, they want to go for Europe. They want to win the game. They could actually stop them from getting third, and hopefully get third as well. So Man United haven't got an easy run in as well, but they'll do their bit. And Brighton also put it on for the fans, and they just signed João Pedro from Watford for a club record fee of around 30 million quid a day. We was after him as well. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Brighton, and what a season.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I've gone 2-1. I've gone 2-1 Brighton as well. As is John Conway's gone for 2-1. Dane says we're not winning away versus Brighton. We're going to lose 2-0. Our away record has been pathetic. Brighton 2, Manchester United 1. Brighton getting revenge for the FA Cup. And Brian 2-1 says Reece Gaming Channel. See, everyone seems to be going for Brighton. But that takes care of week 34. A big thank you to Mr. John Sinclair for coming on the channel. I really do appreciate it, and obviously wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. And you're going to finish third or fourth?
Do you know what? I'm happy for fourth, but finishing third would be fantastic. And we can do third. We can finish third if we win our games. If we win our games, then that's it, really. But Man U's got a game in. Have they got a game? Yeah, they've got a game in hand over us as well. So
yeah,
we just got to do our bit. And third place is not out of the question. You just never know. If we have not had too many draws or been the bottom teams, we'd be fine for the title.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, if we hit top spot, then and everyone's on equal points, I think we could win a lot. But
yeah,
I'm happy taking third, even fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, John, thank you very much for coming on. Tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, thank you very much for having us on. Doug's been fantastic. You can find us on John Sinclair TV, on Twitch, Facebook, on YouTube. And if you find us on John Sinclair 50, lowercase on Insta, John Sinclair, and also John_NUFC 42 on Twitter. So please hit the subscribe button as well, guys, if you haven't done so. I'm on the road to 5K. I'm about 190 now for 5,000. So please hit that subscribe button, please. Hit the likes as well. And I'll be back at 9 o'clock for a preview show at 9 o'clock with Kyle. And we're going to talk about Newcastle Southampton if you guys join us as well.
Absolutely. Go and check John out. Thank you very much, my friend, as well. Great stream, Douglas and John. Thank you very much. Newcastle are getting third, says Mr. B for Life. I think they get third as well. I prefer points on the board than games in hand. Big up, guys, says Dean. Absolutely. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If obviously you've been watching on both my channel and John's channel, do remember to smash a like, and also do hit that subscribe button on both channels. Yes, 4 weeks left of the Premier League season 22-23. It has been bonkers. It has been absolutely amazing. But one thing is for certain, that we do know that Newcastle United getting ever so closer towards a Champions League.
Yes.
And I would imagine Mr. John will be very, very happy about that. But thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next Friday as well for the next round of Premier League predictions on the Prem Predictions Show. Week 35. We're getting ever so closer towards the end. But yes, enjoy the football. Enjoy the midweek fixtures again. And I'll see you very, very soon. Good night.